Hello! I'm going to give you, as it seems everyone else is doing it, and I thought I'm nothing like jumping on the bandwagon, my top 10 favourite and worst movies of 2024. I'll try and go through without waffling. I can't promise anything. So let's start with the positives, guys. Let's start with the good. So from number 10 to number 1, to give you my favourite last. So number 10 comes The First Omen. Was really surprised by this, did not expect to enjoy it as much as I did, thought it would be a bit naff, was really pleasantly surprised. Number 9 is Godzilla x Kong. I know not everyone was a fan. I felt it was a really fun movie, really entertaining, kept me really engaged. I loved the characters. To even turn my mind completely, because that little monkey, he irritated me, but by the end of it I loved him. And to do that with me, you're doing something right. Number 8 is The Watchers, which everyone else seems to hate. I really enjoyed it. It spoke to me. It was my cup of tea. I will admit it ended too quickly. It needed to be longer. I could easily have watched a series, like the section of that when we're in the bunker. I wanted to see more of that. So I'm hoping, someone said they're doing like a prequel to that or a sequel. Oh, please God, I want to see more. I really enjoyed it. Number 7 is Immaculate. So we got Immaculate and The First Omen quite close together, and they were quite similar movies. For me, Immaculate just swung it. Sydney Sweeney just really pulls you in. She plays characters so well. I know she pulls a lot of guys in for different reasons. Just let's say white see-through dress, getting wet, running about, I'm sure made every man's evening. She's a beautiful woman, we have to admit it. But she was fabulous in Immaculate. I don't know what it is with sexy nun movies at the minute, but Immaculate and The First Omen, both full of sexy nuns. I was brought up with completely different kind of nuns in schooling. They were not sexy nuns. Number 6 is Civil War, another kind of contentious one. I really enjoyed it. I really didn't like how it ended. I've discussed that in my review. If you want to go watch it, I'm not going to put it in here. But other than that, I really dug it. I loved what they did, what they were trying to do with the movie. Number 5 is If. I know it's an animation. It spoke to me. I'm one of these people, my husband thinks I'm like a big child because I do quite childish things and quite childlike things, and I see a lot of things from a childlike perspective. So you maybe don't think that's the case, but it is. Very few people know like the real me. This really spoke to me about being in touch with your inner child, the things that we change as we get older, like that line in Inside Out 2. As we get older, I suppose we have a little less joy in our life, and it's like, certain lines really make you think. And in If, the scene with the grandmother connecting with the person she once was when she was younger, she was a ballet dancer, just seeing different people remember things that they'd long forgotten about their childhood and stuff really touched me. So If is my number 5. Number 4, now the top 4 here are all movies that are 2023 movies as far as I'm aware. The reason I've listed them is because they were all released in 2024 in the UK and Ireland, so I didn't see them to 2024. So number 4 is The Holdovers, which came out here on the 19th of January. So it was cold and snowy and just after Christmas when I saw that. Loved it. Thought Paul Giamatti was amazing. Loved just simple movie storytelling. You don't have to have major events. You just have to have good acting, solid writing, and this delivered all of those things. Number 3 is All of Us Strangers, which was released here on the 26th of January. That's a film I knew nothing about, apart from a couple of members of the cinema squad told me to watch it. And when they tell you to watch something, you watch it. I knew nothing of it. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. I will tell you it's about 2 guys that come together. They have a relationship. Something a little bit otherworldly happens, but at the basis, it's a love story. It's about getting older, coming out. It's fabulous, and if you don't shed a tear at this one, you're not alive. It's fabulous. I don't want to tell you too much, but All of Us Strangers is my number 3. My number 2 is Poor Things. That came out on the 12th of January here. Bella Baxter, my favourite character so far in 2024. It's getting a lot of contention. A lot of people aren't happy at the representation of a supposed child in the body of a woman. I think sometimes people like to look at things and find something to complain about when there's nothing there. or a lot of people like to be hideously offended on behalf of other people that aren't offended. It was fun. It was different. You can't say that Poor Things wasn't an entirely different movie. I mean, a lot of it looked like a painting. It was beautiful, and I loved that. I loved how different it was. I loved how brave it was. Yeah, I just thought it was fab. So that's my number 2. And my number 1 I've spoken about already in other lists I've done this year. On the 22nd of March, it was released here, is Late Night with the Devil. Complete and utter surprise to me. I knew nothing of it in advance. I thought it's one of the movies that encompassed the feel of the 70s better than most I've seen. That whole like late night TV show, it was perfect. I, unlike a lot of other people, liked the cutting back to behind the scenes. I enjoyed the ending. I know a lot of people weren't keen with how it ended. I just was thoroughly entertained from start to finish. I loved everything about it. I thought the acting was fabulous. The characters were just right. There was nothing overplayed or underplayed. I didn't come away wanting more of any one thing. I came away really satisfied, and to me that is the sign of a really good movie. So yeah, so far in 2024, Late Night with the Devil is my number 1, guys. My most anticipated is Nosferatu, which we get to see in December. Given that the original, really old Nosferatu is my favourite vampire movie, there's a lot to live up to. So let's keep our fingers crossed. The trailer looks fabulous, but it remains to be seen. So let me know below what you thought of my choices. If you want to do a video listing yours, or tell me below what yours are, I'd be interested to know. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Over and out from Lisa Lives.